All right, what's up? This is my review and thoughts on the Smashing Machine. Let me start by saying, as someone who grew up watching UFC and WWE, being a huge fan of The Rock, while also being a fan of all the guys that are involved in this movie, like Boss Rutan, Mark Coleman, and Mark Kerr. I used to literally play one of the first UFC video games on my PlayStation 2, and I would always play as Mark Coleman. I was also a huge fan of Pride, so I've known about this story since I was very young. And to watch these two worlds collide in a movie is so sick to watch, as an adult now. I love the attention to detail from the actual fighting scenes and to even what they wear. They're all wearing Bad Boy and all the brands they used to wear back in the day. A24 actually came out with merch for this movie, and it's all the shirts that they wear within the movie. A lot of people felt like The Rock didn't look like Mark Kerr, and honestly, I thought he did. And at first, when they said Ryan Bader was going to play Mark Coleman, I honestly didn't think it made sense. But after seeing the movie, it kind of does make sense. I love how Usyk played Igor Vovchanchyn. They even used some real referees. I like how Mark Kerr came in at the end of the movie and played himself as him now. Now, even though it was a 2-hour movie, and sometimes it's kind of pushing it once you get on the 2-hour mark, I feel like they could have added a little more detail on things. For example, Mark Kerr has history with the Dave Schultz brothers, and there's a whole movie about the Schultz brothers as well. If you haven't seen it, it's called Foxcatcher. And Mark Kerr also has history with Kurt Angle, who is also within the WWE world along with The Rock. So it kind of would have been cool to see them make that connection early and show how important he was and how he was around greatness so early. But instead, the movie started right when he was fighting in the Vale Tudo Championship. If you've watched the Smashing Machine documentary that came out in 2006 or something, it's very similar to this storyline. They even steal some of the clips that are from the actual documentary. And supposedly they're going to be re-releasing that documentary again after this movie. To me, this kind of feels like MMA's Rocky movie, except there isn't going to be a bunch of sequels. I really enjoyed the movie. I think I want to give this movie an 8.8, 9 possibly. If y'all saw the movie, drop your own rating